Hey there, everybody. Christian Brindle, Medicare Health Plan expert and specialist here. And today I'm going to talk to you about which plan looks better going into 2023 in the Medicare supplement world, the Plan G or the Plan N. It's an age-old debate. And in this video, I'm going to break down the differences for you of both. Since the Plan F was grandfathered away, effective January 1st of 2020 for newly eligible members, of course. If you were eligible before January 1 of 2020, you still have the option of purchasing a Plan F if you wanted to. But ever since this took place, I feel like the writing was on the wall anyway for the Plan F, and the Plan G and the Plan N have really emerged, if they weren't already, as being the two go-to Medicare supplement plan options. I would say probably 99% of folks we see on a day-to-day basis that have Medicare supplements or end up transitioning into a Medicare supplement end up getting or having one of those two plans. So let's first dissect the difference between the two. The Plan G is a very, very simple plan. Part of the reason why the Plan F was so popular for so many years is it was the only plan that gave you 100% of coverage of everything that Medicare left behind, okay? So anything that was a Medicare-approved charge under Medicare Part A and Medicare Part B, 100% of what was left behind when it comes to deductibles, out-of-pocket coinsurances, was picked up at 100% by the Plan F, and there was no copays, there was no deductibles, there was no out-of-pocket. Now, due to the plan being around a long time, due to the plan participating in something known as guaranteed issue, where it would let a lot of canceled folks on different types of insurances onto their plan on a year-to-year basis, we were seeing that the prices of Plan F, all the way going back to 2014 and 15, were really starting to inflate, and by the time it grandfathered away in 2020, it was almost an unpurchasable plan in most perspectives. Just wasn't a very good plan to pick up. The Plan G is the closest thing that you have to the Plan F, okay? The Plan G covers 100% of everything that Medicare leaves behind, just like the F, except for one thing. It does not cover what's known as the Medicare Part B deductible, which is a one-time-a-year deductible. This year in 2022, as I'm talking to you, it was $233. Next year in 2023, that will actually have a decrease of $7 to make it a $226 yearly annual deductible. Now, it's an annual deductible, meaning that once it's met for the rest of the year, and then you have full coverage of everything that Medicare covers for the remainder of the year. It's the exact same plan as the F after that deductible is met. So they could not be more similar. They're identical in every way, with the exception of that one-time-a-year deductible. Now, people love the Plan G because it's predictable, right? You know exactly what you're going to pay. It's very, very predictable in terms of you have that one-time-a-year deductible and you never have anything else to pay. There's no co-pays or anything like that. Now, the Plan N, on the other hand, is a lower premium option. Now, the Plan G, in terms of price, is going to vary based on three elements. Number one, the area that you live. The prices can be lower or higher depending on where you live. The insurance company. Every insurance company that offers Medicare supplement plans, they are what's known as standardized, meaning that the government designs the plans, the insurance company offers the plans as is, and they determine the price. So every single insurance company that offers a Medicare supplement plan, the prices are going to be different across the board with every single insurance company, okay? This is important to know because you could literally find a plan that offers you a Plan G for $150 a month, and with another insurance company, it might be $200 a month, and there's no difference in coverage whatsoever. What matters with Medicare supplements is your price increases, your rate increases long term, and the fact that once you're on one, they can't drop you, they have to carry you, they have to cover you, but you might not be able to change one later due to health questions and underwriting. This is important to know. When you're not new to Medicare, when you've already been on Medicare for some amount of time, in almost every situation, you're going to have to go through health questions and underwriting to be able to pick up a Medicare supplement plan, okay? Now, Plan N is a lower cost plan. It's typically a lower premium plan. In some markets, it might only be $10, $20 a month lower than the Plan G. In other markets, it might be $40, $50, $60 a month lower than the Plan G. So it varies, but a Plan N has the same deductible, the Medicare Part B deductible. It does not cover that as well, same as the Plan G, which, like I mentioned, in 2023 is a $226 one-time-a-year annual deductible. It also leaves behind some copays. So it has an up to $20 doctor copay. It could be less depending on the doctor, but it's up to $20. It has a $50 emergency room copay, and then it doesn't cover what's known as Medicare Part B excess charges, which essentially what that means is if there's any additional costs that the provider or the doctor wants to tack on to your bill, it doesn't cover it. on the Medicare Supplement Plan N. Now, for what it's worth, it's almost unheard of these days to see a Medicare Supplement Plan N charge. I've never seen one in my career. There's plenty of states where it's not even legal, but it's good for you to be aware that if it was not covered under that plan, that if it was charged to you, I should say, and you had that plan, it would not be covered, whereas with the Plan G, it would be. So with the Plan N, you have the up to $20 doctor copay, the $50 emergency room copay, and the Medicare Part B excess charges that aren't covered, whereas with the G, all of those items are covered, you just have the deductible. So which one is better? Going into 2023, well, in my opinion, my stance has not really changed much going into the new year. I believe that your rate increases have far more to do with the state that you're in, as well as the insurance company that you actually pick in terms of your long-term rate increases. Some people try to paint the narrative that the plan itself has a lot to do with it, and in some cases it can, like we saw that with the Plan F. But I believe the Plan G is still the better plan, because even if you save $50 a month on a Plan G, I would still prefer to have it because it's predictable, right? Some people just like to know what they're going to pay. There's still people on Plan Fs today that stay on them, even though they're way more money than they need to be, just because they like the idea of never having any out of pocket. Doesn't matter how much money they could save. Now, I personally don't necessarily agree with that, but I believe the Plan G in a multitude of different areas is going to be the superior plan because it's predictable. I think if I wanted copays, I'd pick a Medicare Advantage plan. I still strongly believe in Medicare supplements. I think the Plan G is the better plan, though. The copays can add up, and even if you're looking at a $50 a month difference, I think that could be the argument for the Plan N. However, I'm of the opinion that there's something to be said about having predictable coverage, knowing what you're going to pay, and knowing that you're fully covered after the deductible's met. I think the Plan G is a much more simple option. I'm a simple person, and I think it's just more of a value than the Plan N going in 2023. Although I think the Plan N is a close second. I think it is clearly the second best Medicare supplement plan in my opinion. And in some areas, and for some people, the Plan N might be a very, very good option for you. It just depends on who you are and how much of a price gap or difference there would be between that and a Plan G. Anyway, folks, I'd love to kind of hear from some dialogue from you and some feedback. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Are you on Medicare? Which plan do you have? Comment down in the comment sections. I'd love to hear your thoughts on kind of my thoughts on this. Make sure that if you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful and enlightening, then drop a like on it. It helps so much with the YouTube algorithm and helps more people on Medicare like you find this information. They need to hear it. Subscribe for more Medicare informational, educational videos that we put out. And we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching, and make sure you got those Plan Gs in order during this open enrollment period. Call my office if you don't. Our office number is 801-255-5340, 801-255-5340. We're licensed in 46 states. We'd be happy to look at your Medicare supplement plan and make sure that you have the top one going into 2023. Thanks, folks. We'll see you next time. Adios.